Howard has written a series of books called The Best Pocket Guide. The first is Minimising Insurance, the second, Minimising Debt, then for financially secure retirement, and then finally for wealth-building investment. These are matters that all of us try to grapple with as we attempt to build a solid financial existence. She's in studio with us now to tell us a little bit more about these books. Jillian, welcome. Lovely to have you as a guest on the program.
Good morning, Leanne. It's nice to be here.
I think one of the things that jumps out is that you look at these books, they are so small, they're so nice and thin and easy to read, and yet none of us can understand all of this stuff because it seems that it's a difficult thing to financially secure for our retirement, minimize our debt. How did you manage to bring this down to a level we can understand it?
Well, that's the idea behind Pocketbook series, is that we focus on one topic at a time, so that it's not too much information for a start. So the smaller books they've got the basics. There's no fluff in them. They're just information, but they're written in an easy to understand, easily accessible way.
Yeah.
The whole idea is because you don't understand them. They're small, and you think you don't understand them, but once you start reading these books, you'll see that you understand the topic.
And it's vital that we do understand it, because this is our lives. These are our key things, which leads me to my next question. How did you decide on these 4 topics?
I see clients, obviously, that's my job, and these are the questions that they ask me. And I've been in this industry for a long time.
Okay.
And these are all the questions that they ask me, and I've put real-life experience into those books. Client situations, obviously names and places have been changed, but yeah, these are the questions that clients ask me that they want me to answer.
Right, that we want to answer. Well, let's look at them one by one now, and let's start off with these. The first one in terms of retirement, because I think this is a massive one, and we were chatting off air, and I was saying, you know, the older you get, then you kind of realize, goodness, I better start saving for my future and for my retirement, and sometimes it's too late. When should we start?
You should start with your very first paycheck. People that are wealthy always start with saving 10 or 15% as a principle of everything they earn, and if you start doing that from day one, you'll be fine. I mean, historically, pension funds took money from you, you know, from your first salary, and you stayed with the same company right up until you retired, and you had enough money to retire on.
Yeah.
Now you jump from job to job, and you spend that money that was saved up, and you start again, and then 10 years later you start again, and then there isn't enough. So this book tells you how to prevent doing that, and then also if you reach 40 and you suddenly realize you haven't actually started anything, there's step-by-step plans on what to do about that.
Yeah. I like the way you begin this book, the financially secure retirement. Long ago, there was no such thing as retirement. People worked until the day they died, simply reducing their physical tasks as their bodies grew frail. That doesn't work anymore. I mean,
it's going to have to work again.
But 65, big corporates want you out.
They do want you out,
and that's the reality. And if you haven't saved and you haven't looked after yourself, then you're in trouble.
Then you are, but then you have to get employed in a different line of work or consult. A lot of people are consulting.
Yeah.
But companies are also noticing that when they get rid of the 65-year-olds, they're getting rid of a lot of experience.
I agree.
And so they are employing them as consultants.
Yeah.
So it is turning around already.
All right, so the biggest advice on this is start saving from your first salary check.
Yeah, and if you haven't started already, start now.
Start now. Okay, so that's one. But obviously you've got to read the book to find out where you save and what you do. Eliminating debt, because that is big. I mean, South Africa, unfortunately, we're getting quite a bad reputation of getting into debt and badly and then not being able to repay it.
That's right, yeah.
So how do we do this? How
this
do we eliminate
book,
it?
Again, if you start with the principle of saving a little bit of your money every month instead of spending everything, that helps towards it. And this book takes you through the various stages of debt that you're in. You might just have irritating debt, money that you wish you weren't paying every month, through to serious debt where you cannot actually afford to repay everything. So it's got a step-by-step process on which level you're at. And then the second part of the book explains how to live debt-free as far as possible. There is debt that you need for your house and your car. Most people can't just afford to go buy a house cash or car cash. So how to manage that debt, and all the principles to apply. All of these books have got a back page that's got step-by-step. First do this, then do that, then do this.
Brilliant. I mean, you break it down just as an example.
And it's all easy language. There's no financial jargon.
Exactly. From a home loan to a car loan to a student loan, how you should do that. And also credit card.
Yes.
That lovely piece of plastic that people think, oh, yes, I'll just put it on my credit card and worry about it later. But that's how you get into
That's
trouble.
how you get into debt, is by plastic instead of cash. If you've got cash in your pocket and you spend X amount and you know you've got some left, then you're fine.
Yeah.
But if you take out plastic and pay for it every time, you don't know how much you've spent and how much you have left.
Absolutely.
And that's where the problem comes in.
That's when you get into trouble. Okay, so that's eliminating debt. Minimizing insurance. That's an interesting conversation. Tell me about this quickly.
The reason I chose minimizing insurance is because people don't like to pay for insurance.
Yeah.
It's not fair to have to pay for your car in case somebody else damages it. You know, it's a grudge payment. Nobody wants to pay it. So how do we pay less? And this analyzes all the different types of insurance and how you can make it less, which ones are important, and it's just a matter of prioritizing what's important to you.
Yeah.
And then you work out which insurance you'll pay for and which you won't.
And also to reevaluate as the years go by, because
you
kind of insure your car when you buy it, and then you stay at that same level all the time, but surely it should drop slightly.
And some insurance companies do that.
They do, and they don't tell you that.
They don't
you just
tell
keep
you.
paying.
Yeah.
So I mean, you've got to constantly be on top of your finances, which is important.
You do. An annual reassessment is always a good idea of everything.
Of everything. Okay, so annual reassessment. And then finally, I mean, this is really, I mean, we really are going fast here, but this is why I'm urging people to get the books. Wealth Building Investment. Now that's, we all want to be rich.
We do.
I want to be rich. Tell me, how can I get rich?
Well, this is the basic guideline for investment. So you start off with a savings account, and then you put it into probably money market where you earn a little bit more interest. But eventually you're thinking to yourself that this isn't growing fast enough. What can I do with the money that I've saved so far? And then that takes you step by step through the various types of investments you can get, and then how to use them, what the costs are, what the pros and the cons are, so that you understand investing better.
Fantastic. I see that. You've got investing in shares on the stock exchange, buying properties, and if that's the right way to go,
But really easy language, nothing technical.
That's so nice. Jillian, bookstores around the country, are you able to get them?
Yeah, in the CNAs and all of those
Exclusives,
places.
all of those places.
And online at Amazon and Kalahari. E-books, the whole lot.
Brilliant. Well, congratulations on this, on these 4 books. The best pocket guide ever for minimizing insurance, wealth building investment, financial secure retirement, and also eliminating your debt. This, of course, is all in understandable language, which is hard to find when it comes to the world of finance. Thanks again for joining us here on the program. Jillian Howard, the author of those books. Let's take